This is Jess Greenson, and you're watching ZapRoot. So I know you're all wondering what it would cost to eat an animal that could quite possibly be the last of its species. Well, that would be about 20 cents. A film crew in the Philippines was recently shooting a documentary on the racy topic of methods of bird trapping, when they shot some footage of some random bird that was captured and sold at the market for 20 cents. The filmmakers didn't think much of it until they screened a cut for the World Bird Club of the Philippines. A viewer named Desmond Allen noticed the bird and said, "Hey, that bird doesn't exist!" The species turned out to be a Worcester's button quail, a species that's never been photographed alive before. The only evidence that this bird ever existed was from illustrations from previous sightings and dead specimens collected centuries ago. The species was so rare that on the International Union for the Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources endangered species list, the bird's data is listed as insufficient. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the title of the documentary that was named before the species was sighted was Bye Bye Birdie. As we all know, South American rainforests are disappearing at an alarming rate, which is not only destroying plants, animals, and the livelihoods of indigenous people, some of which haven't even been discovered, but might also just stop us from breathing. However, in the past few years, Brazilians have made some hardcore attempts to stop deforestation. So it might sound like a good idea that the Brazilian government will be increasing the number of soldiers in the Amazon rainforest from 17,000 to 30,000 over the next 9 years, and spending $500 million to improve their forts and access. But it turns out this attempt to protect the Amazon might be a little more complicated. Although the Brazilians themselves are consuming more ethanol than gas, turns out they've discovered a large oil reserve off their coast, and they want to make sure that the world, Peru and ExxonMobil, knows that that oil is Brazilian, and they will protect it. So the army is building 29 new forts and showing their manhood by playing a lot of war games. So as it turns out, what is good for oil is good for the rainforest. Go figure! Want some free stuff? Well, buygreen.com is looking to give it to you. Sign up on our community site, add a blog entry. You can use pics and videos, and the best blog entry this week will receive this. Sponsored by buygreen.com. And don't forget, there's a link in our show notes. Now let's take a look at what's going on in green art. Want to know what it's going to look like when rising sea levels flood your McDonald's? Well, wait no longer. An art installation, respectively called Flooded McDonald's, was put together by the Danish art collective Superflex. The installation was built from scratch, took 4 months to complete, and was flooded in one shot, giving you a glimpse into the future. But the situation is easily solved. You just have the toys and Happy Meals be water wings. Here's a twist on bath mats. It's made from moss. And with all that high fructose corn syrup and Pepsi, their logos should really look like this. So have you ever been walking around in some old city and you want to know what things happen in history on the exact spot you're standing? Sergei Lorenkov thought to give that idea some perspective by taking modern-day pictures of St. Petersburg and mixing them with pictures taken from the same spot in the middle of a 900-day siege on the city during World War II that left the population starving and resorting to boiling leather for soups and cannibalism. Oh, what? And check this out, recycled cardboard never looked so good. Or check out these metal insects made from old kitchen utensils. Check out these garden sculptures made from horse poo. As they eventually dissolve, they fertilize your lawn. You know, poo was Michelangelo's favorite medium as well. Here's some sculptures from the masters of reusable art products. Lego. Check out this basket weaving gone extreme. And you thought basket weaving was just for hippies and Amish people. Thanks for watching. Remember, you can turn your back on technology at ZapRoot.com. Hey YouTube user, you should subscribe. The button is right over here. Seriously, this button's all over the place.